Hi, and welcome back to the Knicks-Verse. I'm George, and we're going to go through a few things today. The first thing is a recap of the San Antonio game last night, which is actually not even worth recapping, honestly. We all saw it. It was a mess. Julius, the one thing that it demonstrates is if Julius is not playing at his all-star level, the chances of this team coming away with a victory are next to nothing. And it would have required a, superb game by RJ Barrett, which he was on his way to having one, but he didn't even play in the fourth quarter, I don't think. It would have required, a great team effort overall. I think there has been one or two games where Julius wasn't, his all-star level, and they still came away with the victory. But last night just wasn't going to be. There were a couple of weird factors. The Rose being pulled at the last second. Frank getting put in the starting lineup instead of IQ. There were a lot of surprises happening right at the last second before the tip ball. So the jump ball. So, and I think also, Frank did a good job, commendable. IQ, it just shows how he needs time on the court to just work it all out. But that's a whole different thing. It's not even worth to get into it, really. It was just one of those games. And that terrible non-call on, who was the defender who basically grabbed Frank. It was like a moving screen at the last play of the first half to let Patty Mills somehow get that three off. And that once that happened, like Clyde said, it was a harbinger of death, harbinger of doom. Sorry, not death. It was death for this game, the chances of Knicks winning. It just, bitter taste in my mouth, but it's one of those things, gotta just do a little scope and move on. The next thing is the NBA found a way to diss the Knicks once again. Look at this. I don't see IQ's name on here. Where is it? I see it. Oh, wait, you know what? Wait, it is. It's over here. Somehow IQ is the number 3 ranked rookie, but he couldn't crack the Rising Star squad? What is going on? What is going on? Just continuous dissing by the NBA and the media. Who even votes on this stuff? It's crazy. But somehow they found it in their hearts to let RJ Barrett squeeze onto the world team squad. Wow. Thank you for doing that. It's going to be interesting. It's a shame there won't be an actual game. But now that IQ's not even in it, it would have been nice to have had, IQ on one side, RJ on the other side. That would have been really fun for us New Yorkers, us New York fans, the real fans. Speaking of real fans, shout out to my boy CP, Knicks Fan TV, for holding it up. I mean, not holding it up, smoking Max. He smoked them. Max didn't even know what this was. Oh, and how about, I love when, CP, I love when you said, you ran, Max. That's right. And now he wants to crawl back to get some of the shine, the Knicks shine. Well, it's not going to happen. You can't abandon your team. You can't abandon your team and be a front runner and then expect the fan base who stayed and held the fort down to be welcome arms. Come on, it's been the Alamo here. It's been the Alamo for all these years. Now you want to come back in now that the war is over and you want to celebrate with us? It ain't gonna happen, man. Nice job, CP. I can't wait for the rematch, but the rematch should be on Knicks Fan TV. CP, don't go on his channel. Don't go on his radio show. Get Max to come on Knicks Fan TV. Or at least, if you do go on, make him guarantee that he'll show up on Knicks Fan TV. All right, the next thing, the real topic today is we're going to talk about Derrick Rose and Elfrid PAYTON. And they're starting. We're going to compare each of their last 3 games as starters. It's going to be pretty interesting, and it's going to be pretty eye-opening, and it's pretty much going to put the rest who should start once everybody's healthy. Okay, Let's go. Here we have the season averages for Derrick Rose and Elfrid PAYTON. As you can see, Elf leads in only rebounding, 3.7. Rose assists, steals, blocks, and points. He's leading Elf. And in reality is rebounding is not that important for a starting point guard. Assists and steals and how they impact their teammates while they're on the court together. But the steals is really the most important one here. 1.2, that's good. That's getting up there to that 1.5 zone that I keep asking for our Knicks to deliver. 4.5 assists. It's not bad considering, we have Julius who's providing a lot of assists himself, and so is RJ. Okay, so here we go. Let's go to the team efficiency and 4 factors grid from Cleaning the Glass. This is looking at Rose's last 3 games where he started and the last 3 games Alfred started. Let's go to the actual stats here. Here we go. So we can see Rose, we won all 3 games. With PAYTON, lost 2, dropped 1-1. The team points, this is the most important thing here. 120 points a game was average when Rose started. 99 when PAYTON started. Now that was includes a really poor result here with Orlando. Team opponents' points allowed 106 points to 107. So this starts to poke a few holes in the whole concept that, PAYTON's in there for his defense. So we're not seeing that in the actual numbers. Now, again, we're only looking at, 2-3 game sets, but I think these are really good to show a side-by-side comparison. Jump to the defense here. So stick on that. So this is how the team has performed defensively. And these are rankings. So this is a 93.5 points per possession allowed is comparable to a 93rd ranking. So the higher the number, the better. And so here's a 70th ranking, a 43. Not so good against Sacramento because they lit it up. But that's pretty much, that was about the average of Sacramento. I think they average about 115 points a game. So that was close to their average. Here, Elf, when he starts, it looks pretty good. But look at that 93.5 up here. So this averages out. These are, it's not that different. A 69 ranking to a 64. Pretty close. But again, Rose is ahead. And now my favorite stat, which is the E field goal. Here, we keep defenses to 51.5%. That's when Rose started. And here, we're now 52.2%. So it's pretty similar, but still more efficient with Rose starting. The turnover percentage, and this is where the steals come in. Look at that. Much more active here. Much more opportunities being created than when Elf Pelt, when PAYTON's starting. Offensive rebounding rank, even better when Rose is there. So the one stat is the free throw rank, but this is indicative of how many fouls are committed. So I think we're much more foul prone when Rose starts than when Alfred starts. Got to look deeper into what's the reason that is, but again, it doesn't translate into actual points. So this one is a win for Derrick Rose. Now let's look at the win. Now remember, this is the team efficiency. Here, the same stats, but this is for the Knicks offense. Points per possession, 117.8. 100.6 when Elf starts. This is the difference is so stark. This is why I was crying out for IQ to start, because I believe that a similar upgrade in offense would happen if IQ started as opposed to PAYTON. So now we're seeing Rose as the case study per se, showing us how much more efficient this team is on the offensive side. Their turnovers, they do commit a few more turnovers, and their offensive rebounding is less. However, this might be a lot of Elf getting his own rebounds from his own misses at the rim. And the free throws, much more free throws here. This one, again, I got to dive deeper into why this is happening, but in general, it's not translating to actual points production. So this is a definite argument for Rose continuing to start even when Payton is healthy. Now let's look at their actual stats themselves in those 3 games that they started. So Rose, and remember, this was a good stretch for Elf. Remember? Oh, people were saying, oh, Elf was starting to play well. Well, look at this. Look at the 3 points. He didn't even make 1 3-pointer in those 3 games. Derrick Rose, 62.5% in those 3 games. So of course, he's not going to maintain this, but just shows how much more of a threat he is from behind the arc. And then you look at the field goal percentage, much more efficiency. And they both average the same exact amount of field goals, 12. The minutes played, very similar. A few more minutes for Rose, but not that different that it would impact the overall stats. Let's go over here to assists. 7.3 assists. 7.3 assists. That is fabulous. To 5.3, almost 2 assists more per game. That matters. And look, the steals, 1.3. And now we know Elf can get his fair share of steals as well, but not nearly the impact that Rose has. And we saw it in the year stats. So, and even actually, Rose got a couple of blocks here, but the turnovers, again, higher with Rose, but points per game, 16.3 to 14.7, and the plus minus 10.7 minus 5.0. So even their side-by-side comparison is not even a comparison. Let's look at something else that's really interesting here. Let's look at the defense shooting accuracy. Okay, so the top 3 are the Rose games. The bottom 3 are the Elf games. Now you can see, look at the E-field goal percentage. This is my favorite stat. This is how the defense impacts the opponent's E-field goal percentage. Then the 3-point accuracy here over here. Here we go. Look at this. Look at this. Much more active on the defensive end, closing out on 3-point shooters. Much better defense. So I think we can put to rest this whole concept that Elf needs to be on the court for his defense and how he settles the offense down or keeps it under control. It just shows how when you have a point guard, a good point guard, how much better this team can be. Here's the same numbers, but this is for the Knicks offense accuracy. There it is. There it is right here. This is the whole story. Elfrid PAYTON drags this squad down and Rose liberates them. Even the rim percentage, which is Elf's bread and butter. Now this is team efficiency, not individuals, not Rose directly against Elf. But let's go over to the 3 points. Here we go. Look at that. Oh man. It's over. The days of Elfrid PAYTON starting for the Knicks, like I said before, should have come to an end already. If they don't, it's going to be a lot of splaining to do. All right, so there you have it. Derrick Rose should continue being the starter for the New York Knicks, even when Elfrid PAYTON is healthy. There's just no argument left for it. Even though it's just a short 3-game window, but it just shows the side-by-side comparison. And we also have our own eyes. We know what we see. The team just looks better. Everyone looks happier. We're happier. All right, well, thanks for coming by. Again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up, and see you around the Knicks-Verse.